in numerous regional neighbors, and you have, you know, a reserve corps that's been called up again and again and again. So they're worried also on just like a tactical level of losing additional amount of their manpower, of people, you know, who flee overseas and don't want to be part of this, who may support the war broadly but may not exactly want to be the ones who are fighting it. So that's, you know, that's the calculation they're engaged in, which is pretty grotesque.
I mean, look, it's like I said, it speaks volumes. They don't want their own citizens to leave. But at the same time, again, let's not say that the vast majority of the people don't support this war, and at least the political establishment does. Let's put this up there on the screen. This is from the Times of Israel. But the opposition has actually rallied around the Iran campaign, quote, despite long opposing PM's leadership. Yair Lapid, the primary opposition leader, says Netanyahu must go, but not during the existential fight, right?
That's part of why this is happening right now.
And Naftali Bennett, the former prime minister, says there is no left, no opposition, and no coalition when it comes to preventing Iranian nuclear missiles.
This is all so fucking fake.
Yeah.
Like, just out of nowhere, they just make up, oh, Iran's about to have nukes. They haven't offered any evidence of this. Our own intelligence community says that is not the case. They aren't pursuing nukes, that it would take 3 years. We've been hearing for decades now that Iran is days away, weeks away, months away, whatever. I mean, even Bibi himself isn't saying they're like weeks away from an Iranian nuke. So this is all about a political calculation by Bibi Netanyahu that, number one, he does not want the diplomatic negotiations that the Trump administration was engaged in to succeed. Number two, he is still on very tenuous political footing himself. And so this is a way to, you know, in the same way there's a rally around the flag effect in Iran, there's a rally around the flag effect in Israel that you can see here as evidenced by the opposition basically saying, like, this is our guy for as long as this war continues. Well, guess what that incentivizes? War continuing forever. So that's why this is happening right now. It has nothing to do with any Iranian activities regarding developing a nuke. That is the pretext, and the goal here very clearly is to collapse this government and foment either a failed state or some sort of direct regime change. That is the true aim of what they're doing. And so do not believe all this, like, don't get caught up in all this nonsense. Trump tweeting out, oh, Iran cannot have a nuke. Okay, then keep going with your negotiations, which had a genuine shot at success until you lied about them to trick the Iranians and help to, you know, close the possibility of any sort of a diplomatic solution.
Yeah, I mean, and especially what we're looking at right now from Donald Trump. I mean, what we see is just, you know, like not only a backing of the campaign, but what you're also watching are just accepting a lot of these implicit assumptions, like that this is a war of necessity, that the Israeli intelligence is somehow better than our intelligence. I don't believe that. I mean, look, Tulsi Gabbard signed it and testified before Congress under oath. If she lied, go ahead and tell us, show us the proof.
Right.
This is what I mean about Iraq. They actually did try. I mean, they made up all of this bullshit about yellow cake and curveball and Niger. I mean, I could tell you the whole story.
A long propaganda.
Yeah, it took a while.
Build up.
Colin Powell, and you know, there's no question that they're on their path to a WMD. I was actually going back and reading the exact TikTok of all of it. In a way, it's impressive the amount of BS that they were able to make sound legitimate. They don't even try this time. It's all out here in the open. They're just like, no, our intelligence assessment, I don't agree with her. That's what Trump said today. And in terms of the Israeli society and government, it's pretty clear they're united around this. Put B4 up here on the screen. We have Naftali Bennett, the former prime minister. What a peculiar country, Israel. When Iranian missiles rain down on us, 200,000 are scrambling to come home. Not away from danger, but towards it. I love my nation of lions. It'd be interesting to see what that number would be if they did actually allow outbound flights by Israeli citizens.
I love how he says they're not running away from danger. You're not letting them.
It's like, well, you won't let them, will you?
I did say, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but apparently some Israelis are taking like yachts to Cyprus.
Really?
To get around the air ban. One last thing, and then we can move on to this Tucker and Steve Bannon conversation, which is interesting. We got a number of pieces of it to share with you. But did you follow Tulsi put out that like weird ass nuclear video last week?
Yeah.
And it was very ominous, and she was talking about like the nuclear attacks, you know, are dropping the bombs in World War II and all the carnage from that, and sounding this very ominous warning. And at the time, first of all, I was like, what is this? And then also, it felt like it was more, and maybe it was in the context of like Ukraine, Russia, and the possibility of a nuclear conflagration there. But I don't know. Now, with the outbreak of, us joining this war with Iran, I don't know if it was like more about that. I'm not sure, but it was interesting to me. Now, looking back in retrospect, I'm like, was she trying to send a message as some sort of a plea for help? I don't know.
Yeah, look, at this point, look, we're not there yet, but, for Tulsi, this is a person who staked her into, and look, she's compromised, I think, many things that she said in the past, but I don't think she has compromised herself on Iran and really on Iraq war, right, which is the central reason, according to her, just, when we spoke to her, as to why she wanted to get into politics. It's like, if they do launch a war, you have to resign. If you have any integrity whatsoever. I mean, but I don't think it'll happen, but I think she should. There are a few other people in the administration. RFK Jr. is one of them as well. This is a person who, look, he may be very, very pro-Israel, but he has spoken repeatedly about the war in Iraq with the disastrous